Hey everybody, it's Mike Schulmeister. Hey, it's Saturday afternoon, kind of a lazy day. I was wearing one of my favorite t-shirts a young lady gave me for Christmas. I'll let you read it. If you've seen my About Me on my website, johnmichael2024.com, you've probably already seen it, but if not, I'm going to show it to you anyway. Hope you can read that. Today is Sunday. Yesterday, Saturday, I spent a couple hours in Independence, Missouri at the Harry S. Truman Library and Museum. I like to just study up about some of our ex-presidents, and I grew up in Independence. I've been there before, but it's been a little while so I went, so I wanted a refresher. Anyway, I read with a whole different mindset now while I was there than last time I was there. Anyway, when I got done, I went to the Mid-Continent Library and I checked out a book. The Words of Harry S. Truman. It's just little clips from some of his speeches and his writings. It's a pretty thin book, but I tell you what, I am floored how history repeats itself and how 1947, he lived in the exact same times we live in today. I mean, it freaked me out, but I'm going to read this to you and just, you get to judge for yourself. I wrote some things in here too, so I'll try to tell you what Truman said and what I said, just to keep it out of all fairness. I do have to read this, so bear with me. I got to look up and down. This is from Truman. If you don't like people, you haven't ought to be in politics at all. Well, I've known people in politics that don't really like people, so hopefully they're not getting back in. Truman as well. Any denial of human rights is a denial of the basic beliefs of democracy. Okay, and then here's where I step in. Unfortunately for the women of the United States, their personal democracy was tossed like a stone back in the ages. I am afraid this one act of male chauvinism will cost them dearly at the polls. I mean, I can already smell that stink. I just read this today on the news that the state of Missouri, the Republicans control Congress, is rushing a law through to fight against women's rights again. Here is a description from the Kansas City Star, and it was written by Kason Bayless on 3/3/2024, which is today. It was at least updated today. I don't know when it was originally published. The headline reads, "Inside Missouri Republicans' effort to curb direct democracy to stop the vote on abortion." I read this on kansascity.com. The renewed effort to overhaul the state's initiative petition process, which some Republicans have touted as a way to block the abortion rights campaign, has drawn intense scorn from Democrats, voting rights advocates, and attorneys that have framed the legislation as a broader attack on our democracy. That's kind of a common theme if you've been paying attention since about, This is from Truman. I asked the Congress last November, this was 1947, to restore federal control to the president so that he could in his discretion, hold down the cost of living to the common everyday man. This Republican-controlled Congress has not seen fit to take any action. I am hoping that when we get a new Congress, and we will get a new Congress this fall, kind of funny, maybe we'll get one that will work in the interest of the common people and not the interest of the men who have all the money. Bear that in mind carefully. Please. This is me. Yeah, that is exactly what I've been saying for the last couple years. I'm starting to feel good about myself. For a while, I'm thinking I'm the only guy that sees this stuff. And I know I'm not. I'm just, some people don't see it. Okay, this is Trumanian. This Congress is interested in the welfare of the better classes. They are not interested in the welfare of the common everyday man. They say if we lift price controls and things of that sort, business will take care of the prices well. Business has taken care of prices. for the welfare and the benefit of the fellows at the top. The poor man is having to pay out all his money for rent, clothing, and food prices are certainly outrageous. Yeah, history does repeat itself. I mean, we're looking right at it. Grab a mirror. This is crazy. Okay, this is Truman. If you let the Republican administration, reactionaries get complete control of the government, the position of labor will be so greatly weakened that I fear not only for the wages and the living standards of the American working man, but even our democratic institutions and free enterprise. People, we're there right now. Okay. Remember that the reactionaries of today is a shrewd man in many ways, much shrewder than the reactionaries in the 20s. We all know what proceeded after the 20s. He is a man with a calculating machine where his heart ought to be. He has learned a great deal about how to get his way by observing demagogues and reactionaries in other countries. And now he has many able allies in the press and on the radio. And in my day, on the TV and on the podcasts and on your telephones. Anyway, if you place the government of this country under the control of those who hate labor, that's what we have today. I know they tell you they like labor. They don't like labor. Labor costs money. They don't like to pay money. They don't like to share. Okay. If you place it under the control of those who hate labor, who can you blame? If measures are therefore adopted to destroy the power, prestige, and earning power of labor, make no mistake, you are face to face with a struggle to preserve the very foundation of your rights and your standard of living. They will take till there's nothing left. We will be a third world country. I mean, my comment was, I like this dude. Okay. And this is me too. So many of us remember the famous newspaper that says Dewey defeats Truman. Dewey was a Republican running against Truman, and here's the comments that Truman had made back in the day. Of course, you don't know what Dewey means by unite or unity because he won't tell the country where he stands on any of these issues. He doesn't dare tell the country what the real plans for the Republican Party are. He's afraid if he says anything, he'll give the whole show away. Truman, apparently I have offended the Republican gentleman who wants to be the president. Republicans don't like people who talk about depressions. You can hardly blame them, though. You remember the old saying, don't talk about rope in a house where somebody has been hanged. They don't like to be known for the depression. This is your fight. This is Truman, by the way. This is your fight. I am only waking you up to this fact that it is your fight. You better get out and help me win this fight or you're going to be the losers, not me. I say, please register to vote if you are eligible. And if you're already registered to vote, please double check now and before the election because some of the governors have wiped the voter rolls just to make sure they try to make that lopsided in their favor again. They're doing everything they can to restrict your votes in every possible way. So be very careful. Make sure you are still registered. Tomorrow. It's Sunday. Do it tomorrow. Herbert Hoover once ran on the slogan, 2 cars in every garage. Wouldn't that be nice? Apparently, the Republican candidate this year is running on the slogan, 2 families in every garage. Harry S. Truman also recited a little verse, and it went something like this. Nothing here but the present, nothing behind us but the past, nothing ahead of us but the future. Oh my gosh, how long will it last? Luckily for us, only until November 5th of this year. Get out and replace the evil puppets working for the super rich. We got an opportunity, people. Take advantage of it. Please. When he mentioned this little verse back in, I believe it was 1947, Americans were in the same predicament we are in right now. I mean, right now. We have 29 states and a majority in our U.S. House of Representatives of the same type of people from 1947 that has given everything to the giant corporations and all the super rich in the United States of America since 2017. We have been left for the vultures. They keep telling you the economy is doing good. Well, it's doing fantastic for them. They're just raking in the profits because they're sucking every dime out of us. Eventually, we're going to run out of money. The stock market can't continue like this. It's going to come down. When they can't suck any more profits out of us, the stock market's expectations are going to start going down, and the stock market's going to get hit. We're going to get hammered. And what are we going to have left? Please understand how this was happening to us and what we need to do at the next election. All of our lives have declined, Republicans, Democrats, and independents alike. It's not just the Democrats, it's not just the Republicans, it's not just the independents. There are hundreds of millions of great Democrats, Republicans, and independents as one group of people in the United States of America. All of us citizens are great freaking people. It just so happens we've been hijacked by the super rich and they are not letting up. Just my opinion. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, where was I? Nobody except for the super rich and the super rich controlled media can deny that. They're the only ones that can deny the fact that our lives have all declined. Because none of us are going to deny that. It's a fact. It's a living fact. Okay, this is my last comment from Harry Truman. I do want to keep the Democrat Party the party for the people. We can never win unless it is. I know some of you don't like your option for the Democratic presidential nominee. Sorry, excuse me. But it's going to come down to the same as the last election, unless you elect me. You got the best. You have to pick the man that you think has the honesty and integrity. Don't listen to the news people. There's some whacked out. Yeah, it's entertainment now. It's not news. There's still good news. There's reliable news in the United States of America. Diversify yours, please. Because if you're thinking that man is evil, you're being fed too much salt by somebody else. Okay. Sorry, I got one more that Truman did say. The Republican doctrine, according to Truman, if you can't convince them, confuse them. I see that all the time. Luckily, a whole lot of Americans have woke up and quit listening to that crap. Please understand exactly who and what is causing all of our pains and frustrations since 2017 and help me turn the tidal wave back to the real party for the people and away from the party for the giant corporations this November 5th of 2024. I need your help to get into office so that I can steer this giant ship away from the rocks. We are careening towards it. They put us on a bad course. We need to get it turned around as absolute fast as we can. So we may hit the rocks, but maybe we won't hit too hard. Maybe we'll bounce off them and recover quickly when we can get things turned around. But we need a full force. We need everybody on that big ship's wheel turning that dude to get it turned around. Oh, anyway, I'm done. The Truman Library was fantastic. I really recommend it if you've never been there. It was very, very informative, very interesting. He was an interesting man. Not every ex-president. Most ex-presidents were actually very unique people, and it was kind of fun to learn a little bit about them. Anyway, it's Sunday afternoon, evening. Have a great week. Thank you very much. Bye.